All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ryan, the Degenerate Passive Income, coming to you like we do every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with our best friend, AJ Brockman from EMP Money, Fusion, Honor versus Badness, DexFi, EarnFi, Plazm, Bernard Bonds, you name it, guys. They build it. That's why I'm with the team, right? Because they're in front of you every single week, taking questions, even the hard ones. You guys got a hard question saying, hey, you guys are idiots. Like, what's the problem? Please say it in the chat. We'll answer anything. So we're here. Excuse me if I see me looking over here and over here. I cannot look at my MacBook because I dropped it on the floor this morning and broke the screen. Closest Apple store is 6 hours away because I live up in the sticks. So I'm driving to go get that fixed tomorrow. And that's what we're doing. I wasn't going to cancel the AMA because we need to talk about things. We're going to talk about it all tonight, guys. Everything. We're going to start with Bernard Bonds. We'll roll into Plazm and EarnFi and everything. This is what we're here for. Please ask questions. That is what we are doing here. So thank you, AJ, for joining me. I know you're traveling still. I appreciate you taking the time. Like you're the only person that I know in the space that comes on weekly, 2-3 AMAs a week. And that's much appreciated by everybody. And so thank you for joining us. Let's talk about that a little bit, and let's talk about the market pullback.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Great to be here as always, bro. I know it's been a crazy month for both of us on the road traveling, but we never miss an AMA, or at least we try not to. I know we've maybe missed two since you and I have started the DeFi date night. So yeah, and happy to be here and go over everything. So overall, things are looking good, man. I know I'm sound like a broken record. I consider myself a perma bull, which I know you do as well. So it's hard for me to get discouraged. We're all in crypto for a reason because we know the future is only up and to the right as long as we have a long enough time horizon. And it's happening, man. Things are looking good. We did have a pullback today, but look, over what the last week, up and to the right. So, and yeah, even more, a month almost of a upward trend. So, I mean, obviously we're going to see some volatility. We say October for October because usually this is when the bull run really starts. And I know we've talked about it before, Ryan, but I'm a big believer in the extended cycle. So I think with all the bullish, narratives around crypto, all the bullish legislation now around crypto, a very pro crypto government, at least here in America. All of those things, the weakening dollar. I mean, again, all of those things are really bullish for crypto as a whole. So I think again, we do see new all-time highs by the end of October, and then it's up from there through the end of the year and probably even into 2026 again. Even if there's maybe another substantial dip in summer of next year, as we go back into the political re-elections and all the hopefully appointment of a new Fed chair, all of those things, global liquidity rising consistently, all those things line up for crypto to just go crazy. So again, I'm super bullish on all that, and why that matters is that's what feeds our not only our portfolios but also feeds bonds. So again, the more volume, whether it's up or down, is good for the fees and therefore good for APR. So overall, it always sucks to see a dip, but when things do dip, that usually means that volume increases. So we're making a higher APR, even if principal balance is going down. So yeah.
Yeah, right here, guys. 55 billion, up 22% in the last 24 hours. That's how we make our money. Okay. That's how we get paid our USDC every single minute into our wallets on Bernard Bonds. We need volume. Of course, when the bear market hits, it'd be less volume. I agree with AJ about maybe a super cycle. I don't think we're going to see, like November 21, 69,400 or whatever it was, all the way down to 20,000 or whatever it went down to. I don't see that happening. I mean, even if it went to Bitcoin hit 150, 175K and it came down back to 100, 125K, I'm totally fine with that. There's always going to be volume in the market. That's the only way bonds stop, is if there is zero volume. If there is zero volume in crypto, we have bigger things to worry about. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, let's hop over to the dashboard. We had a whale come in yesterday with 50,000 bucks. So that was good. It dropped the APR a little bit, but with ETH going down a little bit today, we gained about 4% APR. So that means that ETH is outperforming our assets that they're held paired together. And maybe you want to touch on that, AJ, how the APR works. Let's start with that.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. So again, we get a lot of questions every week for newcomers and even old timers that maybe just aren't familiar with the system. So number one, just a real high level overview based on what Ryan was saying is how Bernard Bonds makes money. You mint a bond in ETH. That ETH is then put into the overall fund, and then we are able to allocate that ETH into the vaults. So the DexFi vaults is what runs these liquidity pools underneath the hood. And again, this is all done through smart contracts. We're not managing individual accounts. It's ETH in, ETH out in terms of the actual LP pools. And like Ryan said, we have to pair our ETH with another asset, and that is how we actually make money. So, for instance, say ETH BTC, and we're earning fees on that. That two blue chips like that maybe don't have a lot of APR, so we have to go to other, I'd say, mid cap tokens, not shit coins, but yeah, those are great examples there, Ryan. A higher TVL, I mean higher liquidity, so that we're not stuck in positions, but enough volatility that the APR is higher. So REI is a great example. That first one, it's been steady over the last 6 months, up and down again in terms of APR. The price has gone up and down, but the whole idea is that the APR at 0.5 upwards of 1% a day in real yield, that makes up for all the volatility or the price decrease over time. And so that is, again, how bonds make money. It is real yield. It's all through concentrated liquidity providing. And the secret sauce is having a tight range so that you earn as much fees as possible, but not too tight of a range to where you go outside that range and earn nothing. And if your range is too tight, you get hit with impermanent loss. So yeah, if you go there, Ryan, I know we always have a hard time finding it every week, but yeah, so total, yeah, man, you found it now, and then back out to 1 month or so. Yeah, so again, this is a great example. This has been super volatile. So over the last month, the range hasn't moved much at all, which is awesome. And you can see that those gray bars is the range and the white line is the price. So our range is set very high to the upside, which is great because when we do get an alt season, there will be very little, if not any, impermanent loss because we're prepared for the price to go up and not down. Now, if that price falls out of the range, then the AILM, which is the AI-driven liquidity manager, it will rebalance. But again, there's this misconception that the AILM is rebalancing every day or every hour, and then impermanent loss is horrible at that point. But that's just not the case. The AILM is smart enough to know that it does very, very wide ranges, and that again protects us from everything moving forward. So again, I just wanted to go over that. I know that really wasn't even your question, but I wanted to give a background on how we actually produce the APR first. So
For sure. And I think the ranges is, and you said it right there, AJ, because contrary to what a lot of people believe, especially over in the PACA finance group, ladies and gentlemen, they think the AILM is the worst thing ever because it's constantly rebalancing, constantly getting impermanent loss. The only people who are getting impermanent loss and are stuck in it is those boys. So Sorry if you're in it. Sorry, whatever. I'm doing a full-blown update video on the 15th when I get whatever pennies I get on my little stake I have. So just throwing it out there, guys. They kicked me out of their Telegram group, so now they get a video every 2 weeks from me. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But AJ just explained the ranges. Beautiful thing.
Yeah. And the proof is there, Ryan. I mean, again, man, you can see it. That's a beautiful thing about what we do. It's 100% transparent. You see the ranges. You might not know what the ranges are. This is a public vault. So on our private vaults, you don't get to see those ranges. And some of them we do manually as well. That doesn't even include the AILM. If we, are thinking that the price is going to go up in a short amount of time, we do, like I was just saying, a higher range to the upside to capture all that. So we're able to transparently show all this without, giving away the secret sauce so people can copy trade. And it's been working, man. I mean, and the APR. So let's maybe go into that next. So the APR that we pay out is based on the previous week's yield. So remember that APR is a week in the rears. And again, it is real yield. Again, zero Potsonomics, zero inflation, everything is there. And again, back to transparency, if you open up the DBank link right there, Ryan, you will see all the incoming USDC literally minute or hour by hour. And so at the end of our epoch, which is on Wednesday nights, we are able to top up the rewards contract, and that is what gives APR. So it's been roughly, averaging about 70 to 80% since we started. Some weeks are way higher than that. I know 2 weeks ago we had like 130% APR. So again, it is real yield. It could go up, it could go down, but over time, we're very confident that we can maintain, that 70 to 80% APR, which is incredible. And you get the exposure to the underlying asset. So a lot of people ask, why does the ETH value of bonds fluctuate? And the answer is that, uh, if ETH is outperforming all the other assets that we're exposed to, then the bond price will go down. If the altcoins that we're providing, liquidity on, if they start outperforming ETH, then the actual ETH value goes up. So, and then if the dollar value of ETH goes up, then the dollar value of bonds will always go up. So there's three different things you have to realize. One is the ETH value, one is the dollar value, and then the third is how that corresponds with the fund overall. And so again, it has been and permanent loss is definitely a thing. I mean, I don't want to give people the wrong idea. We definitely experience some impermanent loss, but it's nowhere near what you would do on your own. And we're so well diversified that even if one pair gets hit with a permanent loss, there's 42 other pairs that are not affected. So, and that goes too if one of the assets we're exposed to gets hacked or whatever out of our control, the fund is never fully at risk because those assets, we never have more than 10% in one particular asset other than ETH. So I mean, if ETH rugs, then we're all screwed. So, but yeah. So I mean, again, the diversification really helps as well. And Ryan, I have some alpha, bro. This is the first mentioned publicly, other than our chats. We are now being deployed on BNB. So next week, or later this week even, we're going to start adding some BSC, Binance Smart Chain or BNB network. We'll have some LP pools on there as well. And some of them are killing it. I know Aster and Stable. It's been kind of a miniature BNB meme season over there. And obviously, we're not be providing liquidity for straight up, meme tokens, but a lot of these have incredible volume and nice liquidity. So keep an eye out for more diversification onto BNB next.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. What he's talking about, guys, in the vaults, everything when you're over here in Bernard Bonds and everything that we talk about here, ladies and gentlemen, is 100% transparent. The wallets are doxed. Everything is there for you to see. If you go press this little arrow, it's going to bring you to this website, DBank. Every dollar, every cent that comes in and out of this protocol is tracked right here. You cannot hide it. You cannot change it. You cannot do anything. It is here for you to see. You can see we got $62,582 in liquid assets ready to deploy when they find a good entry point. And some of that is used for, like this, the EPOC is coming tomorrow. Obviously, they'll top up the reward pool. The ETH is there to buy more positions when they feel the entry price is right. It's all here, guys. And here are the vaults that all of our money is into, plus the amounts. We're not giving away the secret sauce because we're not giving away the ranges, obviously, and the entries and the exit points. Okay, guys? But it is all here for you to see. Nobody else does this, okay? Nobody else is this transparent. Nobody else is in front of you in the screen talking to you every Tuesday night with live faces, not hiding behind the screen. No one else is doing this, guys. It's just a matter of time before the masses come. And, you know, this is the best thing since sliced bread. It's all here for you to see. And that's what I love about it. And I want to touch on, you can see here, I can claim 640 USDC. Remember, guys, you can claim, you can claim when you have 1 cent in there. It costs you like a penny to claim. All right. You can claim anytime, instantly dropped in your wallet. There's no waiting 72 hours. There's no waiting 24 hours. You wait 5-10 seconds for the contract, smart contract to finish it, and it's automatically in your wallet. It is no messing around. No, no people behind the scenes. Oh, we could pay this guy, whatever. None of that, guys. All right. You can also buy a bond and you could sell it 5 minutes later. Keep in mind, there is a 10% tax when you sell or redeem the bond. Okay. Redeem is right there. And there's a 10% tax. That tax stays in the protocol. It doesn't go to me. It doesn't go to AJ. It doesn't go to Jake. It goes to nobody. It stays in the protocol earning. So if I sold my bonds, I'd have $2,094 right now going into that. Money would stay in, and you guys would be getting a piece of that pie every single day. All right. That's how that works. So you can sell your bonds anytime. Your money is never locked, ever. You need some quick cash. Boom. You redeem it. 48 hours to redeem, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. If you do it on the weekend, it's probably going to be Monday or Tuesday before it's, redeemed. That's not automatic. All right. That is done manually. There is a question about that in the Telegram group. Will it be done automatically one day? It's in the talk. It's in talks. Okay. No promises, but it would be easier. But sometimes you got to pull out of positions, things like that. So we'll see what happens down the road. But for now, I like it manually, no screw ups. And that's the way it is. Now, for the naysayers that's saying everybody is down. No, they're not, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It's right in front of you right here. Okay. You can see right here on June 30th, I minted 114 bonds with 9.9 ETH. It was 25 grand. Okay. That's what it was. The current price is 179.06. That's the current price of what the bond is. There it shows I minted. You can see I'm up 13.22% still, even with the market tanking, even with the bond price going down, because the bond price was originally 0.098, I think was the original price on June 11th when this thing launched. Yeah, it's cut in half. Okay. Market's been, in the tank. It's coming back up. I still believe that there's $9,000, $10,000 ETH in play this cycle. And after that, the alts start running. Like AJ said earlier, when the alts decide to outperform ETH, boom, bond price is going to go up, plus the price of ETH. I mean, you've got the perfect storm happening, in my opinion. That's just me. But here's for the naysayers. You can't fake this either. I put 25,000 in. I'm up 30. I'm positive $3,300 in less than 3 months. Okay, I will take that on 25 grand all day long. I wish I would have put way more in at that point. Okay, so if you're here for the long game, this is for you. If you're here for a month, 2 months, I would say a minimum of 3 months. You want to be in this thing to actually see some gains, right? Don't come in here thinking you're going to make 10% or 12% one month, and then you sell your bonds, all of a sudden, oh, I forgot about the 10%, things like that. Don't do that, guys, okay? If you're here for the long game like I am, this is going to print for years, okay? It's not going anywhere. There's always going to be liquidity. There's always going to be movement in crypto to get us those fees, okay? The volume is what is most important. So there's the numbers right in front of you. I'm still up on my product on my wallet right here, 13%. I'm down on another wallet because I got in a little bit later. I am not concerned because I play the long game, and that's the mindset you guys need to have. All right. Anything I missed there, AJ, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. That was a great overview. So a couple of things just to elaborate on. You mentioned the 10% redemption fee. Again, that is meant as kind of a hedge, so to speak, where two things. Number one, people are not able to swing trade the bond value itself. And number two, that helps with the ratio. So like we were just saying earlier, that the actual price of bonds, when people redeem, that automatically pushes up the ETH value of bonds because now you're earning on more money than what was put in. So that's really exciting. And another thing too, we did increase. We mentioned this about a month ago, but we're always tweaking and people forget. But we did increase the compound ratio. So typically on the vaults, we do a standard 75-25. 25% compound, 75 would take profit. And so about a month ago, we increased that to more of a like 70-30. And we even did one more time, I think. So now we're at like a 65-35. So the point is that, and that is already taken out of the APR. So you're not earning less. But that will also really help start to mitigate the ETH value going down on bonds. And like you said, Ryan, it can turn around really quickly, man. It is unfortunate the price that you pay. If you had spot Ethereum and you can time the market to sell when we're at all-time high and buy at an all-time low, or local low, then bonds might not be for you. But if you don't want to worry about sitting in front of your computer or doing technical analysis and holding spot Ethereum to sell at the exact right time, then you may not get all the upside potential, but you're getting massive daily yield, which again is pretty cool because then what the richest people in the world do, they utilize that yield to either live off of or speculate into other investments or protocols to then make you more money. So the whole idea is that you never spend your principal anyway. And again, that's how Bezos and Musk, I mean, they do it through businesses, but this is a business. I mean, yield is being generated without any new users. It's all done through the LP providing. So all that's super exciting. And yeah, I think we'll see the power of this when we do finally get a real alt season and principal balances return, and then you're making, like you said, Ryan, your principal balance is up, you're making more in yield as well because as the price of ETH goes up and all the other assets, the dollar value on what you're earning goes up as well, which in theory will increase the APR. There's just many positive side effects when the market pumps. So and yeah, again, it's better. I know we joke about it, Ryan, but it's much better than being in a stock market or a traditional bank or even real estate. So
Right.
in terms of headaches. So so yeah, man, everything is coming together. And then there was one more point that you made, but I forget what it was right now, so we can elaborate as we go. But yeah, that's what it was. In terms of the longevity of this, we've been doing LP providing on our own through the EMP treasury and the DexFi treasury and vaults for like 3 or going on 4 years now. And everybody says, well, what about the next bear market? The answer is number one, I really don't think we're going to see the bear markets that we are used to. There may not ever be a crypto winter, back to what we were talking about earlier tonight on the call. I mean, the extended cycle, institutions being here and treasury companies just holding all their crypto. I mean, that is a game changer. So even if we do see a dip, overall, I don't think we ever see the dips that we used to. I mean, I would be absolutely shocked if we ever see Bitcoin under 100K ever again and ETH under 3,000 ever again. So we can definitely earn, and no matter what the landscape of crypto is, and yeah, the APR might be a little bit less in those times, but regardless, then the principal balance may hold up a little bit more. I mean, even if we're in stable pairs with zero in permanent loss, those are still 10, 12% monthly. I mean, monthly, I wish, yearly. So again, we're no matter what, we're still able to compete with other potential, exposures. So yeah, I just want to elaborate on that a little bit.
For sure. Just play the long game, guys. That's the only way to win in crypto. Obviously, people are messing around with, crap coins and stuff like that. And that's great. If that's what you like to do is watch charts and speculate on different coins. But this is something you just put your ETH on base into and don't worry about it. Come back once a week and claim, or come back once a month and claim. Just let it ride out. I hold a ton of ETH. I have $900 ETH stacked like cordwood in my ledger that I don't touch. Do I put it all in here? No, I don't. Some days I think to myself, why isn't it in here making me money? I don't know the answer to that, okay? I like to be diversified. So, I've got some in here. Most of it's on my ledger. I'm always adding different wallets. I have a ton of wallets with Bernard bonds in them, guys, because I got some for my kids, my mom, my dad, their friends, stuff like that. So it's just my way of, giving back. But play the long game. It's going to pay off in the end, but continue to have fun and speculate and things of that nature. But the numbers are right in front of you. They do not lie. DBank doesn't lie. It is all there for you to see. You can see right there, I'm positive in the P&L. We're doing 94% APR. That's almost 8% a month. Obviously, that's going to change tomorrow evening. Okay, it changes every Wednesday night. When you've got $55 billion days of volume in ETH, that's pretty crazy. It's probably going to go up a little bit. I don't know that for sure. We will wait till it resets tomorrow night and we'll find out what it is. Maybe it'll be 120%. Maybe it'll be 80%. I'm not sure what the numbers are going to be. There's people who speculate in the Telegram groups. The one guy was bang on 2 weeks ago. It's going to be 150% APR. Well, it was 150. The week after that was 160. Now this week it's about 100. It varies, guys. It's because it has zero Ponzi-nomics and it does not rely on new money coming in. The whole world could stop right now and say, you know what? No more money in the Bernard bonds or DexFi or whatever. Doesn't matter. There's still liquidity providing. There's still farming going on. There's still volume going on. Whoever's in is in, and they're going to continue to print because there's zero Ponzi-nomics, and it does not matter if one single person gets in again. All right. That's the kind of protocols that I want to be in. All right, guys. So
I love it. Let's go, Ryan. 100%, man. And anything that we build, whether it's EMP Fusion, again, we're going to talk about Plazm in a minute here. Everything that we do is based on real yield now, and protocols that don't implement real yield are going to be left behind. I mean, that is the new landscape of crypto. We see it everywhere, whether it's liquid staking or validator rewards or concentrated liquidity providing, protocol owned liquidity, where part of the fees go to buying back the token. All of those things are what is the project you should be involved in. The days of Ponzi's and just meme tokens that you have to pray that somebody buys the token at a higher price than what you paid for it. Those days are over, and it's exciting, man. That's the maturity of the space. People are actually running these crypto projects like businesses with baseline revenue, which is bullish. I mean, that is what turns this whole system into what we call a flywheel. So yeah, all of the above.
right. Yeah. Please ask questions, guys, if you got questions on bonds. Otherwise, we're going to move on. Scott says, my understanding is the 48 hours is a security protocol. I never thought about it that way, Scott, but you know what? You're right, because we had that happen about 6 weeks ago, where a fine lady from the East Coast called me up and says, my wallet got hacked and they sold my bonds. Well, we caught it in time. Okay. The bonds
sure.
didn't get, she got her bonds back because Jake and AJ took the reins, be like, relax, we'll take care of it. Everything was fine. So when you say it, I never, until Scott just said that, I never really, thought about it that way. But Scott is right. It is a security thing. So you get your wallet hacked. The first thing I would do if I was a hacker, I would sell all the bonds. And if it was instant, boom, I have my ETH on base in my wallet and it's done. I mean, so it's not a bad thing to wait 48 hours. If you have to wait more than 48 hours, and it's a problem, probably shouldn't be investing in crypto. I mean, bottom line, in my opinion. So just, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have some security protocols in place in terms of redemptions. I mean, like you said, we were able to catch that one at a time. We can't make promises moving forward, but we can do our best to try. And yeah, to your point, that was it is a kind of a built-in feature, for those that are affected. So
right. I don't know how I lost my screen there, but we're going to turn it back on, hopefully.
Yeah, where do we go? There we are.
Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm a mess, guys. Whatever. We'll get through it. That's why we're here. Let's see. Henry Jones says, I claim from bonds and create Plazm is what we're going to talk about real quick here. I do the same on my other wallets, Henry. And some people are doing the opposite. And some people are just using the money. Take your rewards, guys. Okay. People ask about compounding in our bonds. The only way you could compound is to claim your USDC. You could swap it right for ETH and base on MetaMask. And then you'd have to have enough to buy another bond. That's the only way you could compound. I'm not telling you to do that. You do whatever you want. Okay. Take your rewards, go pay some bills. Take your rewards, go take your loved one out for dinner. Whatever it is. Okay. If you're a compound freak like I am, go ahead. It doesn't matter. I know there's a guy, we won't mention his name, but he's minting 3 bonds a day right now on his stake that he has. It's a big bag, but he compounds 3 bonds a day. And that thing is just killing it right now for him. So good for him. I'd love to be in that position, getting 3 free bonds a day. And those are just printing and printing and printing. So, I mean, there's a lot, there's some big whales in this thing. And I know most of them, they're not going anywhere. They're in it for the long game, guys. They know what's going to be happening here in the next 6 months to a year because they're smart. All right. So with that said, let's see. Oh, here we go. Do we think PACA will pay their first epoch coming up? You know what, JT? Good question. I hope so. They probably will, right? They've been farming for 2.5 months now. I would assume that they've made a couple of bucks to pay people out. I mean, who knows? Maybe they won't. I have no idea. But we don't want to see anybody lose money. Hopefully they do. And but you know what? People are sick of it, fed up. People are going to be cashing out. They're already cashing out. They're going to be coming to us. They don't have the tech. You can't liquidity farm on your own, 2 guys, 24 hours a day. It just doesn't work. That is impermanent loss. That's the definition of impermanent loss. Okay. That's why they're stuck in positions that they can't get out of. That's what they're saying, right? They say they got $5 million, $4.5 million in the TVL. Nobody knows. You know why? Because they don't have this. Okay. They don't have this right here, DBank. It's just numbers on a screen is what you see over there at PACA. All right. Nobody could tell me different. So with that said, that's all I'm going to say. AJ, please tell me what the hell is going on with this thing right here.
Yes, brother, no doubt. So we announced this last week on the channel. We just celebrated 1 week yesterday. But Plazm is the brand new protocol within the EMP ecosystem. And, we just spent, 30 minutes going over Bernard bonds. And the reason that that's so bullish is that is the backbone, the bond system. We do it through our own bonds, but who knows? Maybe one day we have a Bernard bond Plazm version. But that being said, that is how we generate real yield. And this is what we call a daily creation platform. a lot of you may be familiar with Hex or Wise or any of these, old Titan X daily creation platforms. And some have done really well, some haven't. And then a new contender entered the ring called Taurus, and so Taurus and Unity are already an upgrade of economics. And we went over the differences on the last AMA, but the long story short is even without real yield, those two protocols are proven to be really powerful. And so shout out to them. Again, I always like to give credit where credit is due. We forked the code. In fact, it's the same developers of Taurus and Unity. And we added real yield on top of it. And no other daily creation platform has added real yield. And so all the ETH that enters this protocol to create more Plazm goes into bonds, and then that creates a daily yield without any new participants. And it is a perpetual buy and burn. So these protocols get their appeal from basically a treasury that's always buying and burning and buying and adding liquidity to the underlying asset. And typically, you have to have new users always feeding that treasury because it depletes over time. And we have solved this now with this addition of real yield. So even if nobody, like you just said it a minute ago, Ryan, even if nobody entered Plazm from here on out, no new users whatsoever, no new buyers whatsoever, it's mathematically guaranteed to have the price go up over time because of the real yield. And right now, if you go to stats, Ryan, and scroll down for me, yeah, so we're at 74 ETH. Again, that ETH number will also fluctuate with the price of bonds. So right now we saw a bit of a pullback. So yesterday it was about 75 ETH. But still, I mean, overall, that number is still really powerful. And that's cool too, because typically with a buy and burn, a lot of founders will pause the buy and burn or reduce it to have the most effect as the prices go up. But because bonds also are exposed to ETH and all the underlying assets, when ETH does double or triple, then the buy and burn or this perpetual yield through bonds will also go up. It may not go up, 1 to 1, but it will go up as well. So that is also cool because we're earning yield and we're still exposed to the overall crypto market as well. So, it's only been 1 week. We already have about 335 grand of of economic energy in the system, and that is producing right now $700 a day in buying and burning of Plasm. Now we haven't even implemented that yet. Right now, it's still accumulating. We're only using about 1% of that, but at any moment we can turn that all the way up to 100 even, because the buy and burn is always replenished. So again, people I don't think realize how incredibly powerful this is, and those that do have been making some great positions. And so, yeah, that is again a very high level overview. We could do a whole hour and a half on Plasm alone, but yeah, I wanted to just highlight some of that. And so, how do you get involved, Ryan? So, if you are excited for this, I will go to Earn. Yep, right there. And it's you need to have ETH or ESHARE on base, and all you do is look at that number in the middle right there. So as you can see, it says 14,000 percent ROI estimate. Obviously, that number is not gonna hold up right now. That number does fluctuate, with the overall token price and condition. So none of this is guaranteed. Obviously, 100, almost 200% a day is not sustainable. So please make sure you understand that. However, if you do the maximum stake, right, or I'm sorry, the maximum create of 77 days up in the top right there, we still think there will be triple digit ROIs that you will be able to realize when the supply starts coming out in 77 days. And the reason is the buy and burn. I mean, again, by then, 77 days from now, we could have 1, 2, 3 million in the buy and burn, and that is literally thousands of dollars a day in perpetual buying and adding liquidity. So really excited and what we will see here. Again, the whole idea is that you want to create right now. If you go to stake, you can also stake, but Ryan, if you go to stake at the top, oh yeah, there you go, and then you can see that's 11,000. So what you see on the UI really tells you what would be the best solution. So right now, creating is still more profitable than staking. And we did have some volatility. We had one of our larger ESHARE whales got hacked, so we saw the price come down almost by half. But the ROI has still been in profit, so that shows the power of the system, and it's already recovering dramatically. And we have a cool announcement coming. Hopefully, I'll be able to share next week with you, Ryan. But we have a cool addition that will help deepen the eShare BNB and eShare ETH liquidity as well. So it's direct buying pressure on eShare and Plazm as we move forward. So.
Right. Yeah. And the fourth message down the chat, guys, there's my link to join Plazm if you want. Use it if you want. I don't care. I get a 2% commission on the deposit. I'm giving it back to the Bruno X investors who are affected by that, just like I do in everything else that I receive. Okay. I don't need any referrals. Maybe we should talk about that, AJ. Why is there a referral link? Like what?
Yeah. Absolutely, Ryan. No doubt, bro. So we've been notoriously open about our hatred for referral programs, but the reason that is that usually if there's a referral program, that means that it's reducing the potential rewards for everybody else. And so with Plazm, we have a really unique referral system where because of the real yield, and again, there's always this ETH getting put into bonds to generate the yield, we can do a referral system that doesn't overall negatively impact the protocol. So that is really cool. And yeah, it's a 2% referral on the ETH creations alone. So if you have eShare or do it with eShare, we don't want to ever create more selling pressure on eShare, so it doesn't qualify. But yeah, if you do with ETH, then you get that 2%. And we have a lot more marketing coming in. Ryan, you've been with us for a long time now, so we always give you the first dibs. And we have a few other influencers. I see Crypto Pride in the building. He's been a long time supporter as well. But we're going to start advertising to some big ecosystems in the next week or two that should really help get Plazm in front of some major eyeballs for sure.
Right. And I'll be honest right here, guys, these referrals, okay? I've pulled in 0.56 ETH, okay? Now, 0.49 of that, and you can go look back in my wallet, okay? You guys know what my wallet is. It's right there. It's in the referral link. I paid, one whale came in with 50K, and I paid that 0.49 back to him because he messaged me before. He said, Ryan, I'm a Bruno X investor, and he was a huge whale in that too, okay? Multiple 6 digits, just like me and AJ. He said, if I deposit 50K in, can you give me back my 2% so I can roll? And he rolled it back in right into Plazm, that 0.49 that I sent him. You don't believe me? Go check the wallet. It's sent right back out to him. So really, the only thing I've kept is about 0.07 maybe ETH, whatever that is, $300-400. We're giving it out away in the middle of the month anyways, okay? You guys have the wallet. I have no problem showing you anything that you want to see, okay? That's how we do it here. So go back and look at the wallets. You'll see that the ETH was sent out back to the same wallet that I was received from on my referral link. And it's this guy right here. It doesn't matter. Here's the last one. 83% of the whole people who put in. It's the one guy, okay? So we won't mention names, but he's the whale. He got his point. He got all of his referral money back. So that's just what I did for him because he was affected in Bruno X. He was affected in other things. And that's what I wanted to do for him. So I have kept 0.09 or whatever ETH, but that we're giving that away anyway. So with that said, I think everybody kind of gets how to do it. Now, AJ, I see there are some crazy people in this Telegram group of yours in Plazm. They have gotten out of control with the they've got like charts made up or like PDFs made up of they're staking for so many days, and they're claiming, and they're doing every so often. It seems like it'll work. I don't have time to do all that stuff, but I mean, there's got to be a million different ways to make it profit on this thing, by doing certain things on certain days, right?
Yeah, 100%, Ryan. So another really cool thing, those that are familiar with Fusion Watch, we'll have a link on the site soon, but you can actually see when the daily creations are coming out. So we have a lot of people that do what's called ladder creations, and they are creating every day so that they always have some Plazm coming out every day. So that's a strategy. There is, people that even though the ROI is a little bit less, some people like to stake rather than create. Again, longer always pays better, but some people want to get a little risky and do a shorter length stake. So it's like 45 days instead of 77. Just remember, if you do that, you are at a higher risk of not being in profit on your original stake. But the whole idea is that you are creating or staking to get as much Plazm supply as you can. And so there will only ever be 125 million Plazm total. And that comes out over the next 20 years. So again, I always hate to compare any of our protocols to Bitcoin, but it's very similar with a fixed supply, and that it's not inflationary, but more of the supply is given out every day, and it gets less and less over time. So that alone is really cool because again, there's zero inflation, and the buy and burn, as long as you have a long enough time horizon. So say, every 77 days is what we call a cycle. And so if you are here for, 2 or 3 cycles, again, the bull run is maybe here, it may not be, but it doesn't matter because the buy and burn will be so big at that point that we're literally buying thousands and thousands of dollars a day in Plazm and adding to liquidity and burning it. So, honestly, Plazm is essentially tokenized bonds. So if you're bullish on bonds and want to get a little more speculative and, for lack of a better word, degen, then it's very similar where you're getting exposure to bonds through Plazm, and if you have a longer time frame, 150 days plus, then mathematically speaking, it's literally a guarantee that you can be in profit as long as you hold long enough, because every single day we're buying and burning, and that's the key. Burning alone does nothing for the price, but if you buy and burn, you're literally always increasing the floor price of the token. And because the supply is fixed, then at some point there's no more sellers, and those that are holding just get the price are going up and up and up, and then they can sell when they're finally in profit. So
right, yeah. I mean, that's and JT Smith, I'm on your side, brother. He says, I don't understand all these crazy strategies. Can I just collect my money in 77 days and create new again for another 77 days?
yeah,
JT,
JT, I love it.
you're the man, because that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to do strategies. I'm not going to do ladders. I'm too lazy. I'm not smart enough. It's a combination of things. I'm just going to go every 77 days, and I'm going to be like, thank you. I'm probably going to wait, because I got in within the first couple hours. So I imagine there's probably going to be a bank run the first couple hours after these 77 days. But, history shows, guys, if you just went in 77 days and made a crazy ROI, I'm going to be the guy that's going to wait when all these people withdrew or cashed in or whatever till all these people go back in, because there's going to be a price dip. I'm going to wait 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days with my bag. And then when that thing starts flying up again, because the FOMO is going to kick in. Oh my God, I just did 77 days, made a killing. I need to get back in. I'm going to wait till that price goes back up. And then, that's how I'm going to do it. So who knows what's going to happen in 77 or 70 days now. This thing is 8 days old now, right? Yeah, 8 days old. So, and we're at 74 ETH deposit. I mean, are you kidding me, guys? It's insane. That's crazy. Bernard Bonds has been around for 3.5 months, and it has about this. It has like a little over 3 times that. But I mean, it's off to a heck of a start. That's for sure. So,
no doubt, Ryan. And that was what you just said is really cool too, because the whole idea is that we expect those things to happen. I mean, like you said, at day 77, we definitely could see a major dip as all the price comes, but it's not a surprise to anybody. And we absolutely, even when we do see a dip, I think there will still be triple-digit ROIs. That if you sell even 10% and go back in, or you stake. That's when staking becomes really powerful. So say you did a creation, now you have 10,000 Plazm that you didn't have to buy off the market, and then you can stake that Plazm, and the staking fee is only 5% in ETH. So even if you sold 10%, you pay for your fee and you keep 5% profit, and you basically compound for the next 77 days. And again, the reason that's so powerful is that gives the buy and burn another 2-3 months to continually buy and add liquidity over that time. So by cycle 2, I think we're going to see some incredible results. And and then like you said, then FOMO kicks in, and those that say, oh shit, like these guys solved it, these guys have solved the issue we see with these sort of platforms, then it only goes up from there. So
exactly. And we already looked at the stats, guys. I mean, it's killing the game. 600. I mean, these are insane numbers, right? I mean, that's crazy. Maybe let's go to my stake, because obviously I show you guys everything. I do not care. I have 2 positions. Tell me what I'm making here, because I'm a little confused about it, AJ, because you know me, I'm a dumb guy. I just whip money everywhere, and hopefully, I throw toilet paper at the wall, and hopefully one day it'll stick. So hopefully it's
sure.
And so what do I have going on here? Let's just walk through it real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So you did 1 creation and 1 stake. So this is the portfolio page. Again, you can see everything all at once on the portfolio page, or you can go back through your creations and you can see individually at the bottom. So why don't we do that? That way you can see. So it shows you, if you hit details, perfect. It'll show you again what the principal balance, what you've done, and as you can see, your creation, is what 2,000% ROI right now, and that's because you did a 77 day. So that, again, the longer you go for, the more chances you have that your APR will outpace any potential drop in price. So right now that's about 0.3% of the whole supply as well in terms of ownership. So that's another metric that you want to look at. We always say if you're able to accumulate 1% of the total supply. Again, I get some people may not have the funds to do that, but that makes you, a whale in the system, and helps, you control the potential dumping down the road as well. And so every single day you will get more Plazm credited to your creation. And another thing that's really bullish is the daily emissions. Again, it's not inflation, but the supply release every day. It comes from the same pool. So when new people come into the system, they take away your shares, and people may say, well, that's not fair, but it's really powerful because then those that got in on day one or even the first week, they're not the only people that make money, because typically we see that for the other daily creation platforms is that the only people that make any money are those that are early. And so because you're always competing for your shares, it makes it really sustainable. And there could be a situation where people that get in later have a very comparable, ROI. So again, that's all part of the sustainability.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. So I put in launch cost. So I'm at 2,000% ROI. So I created, and this plus is earned. So what have I actually earned here? Where is my earn? Like, where's the, how do I know how much I've earned?
Yeah. So when you create that it basically starts at 0. So you've earned 4,000 Plazm
Okay.
over the last 8 days. So
Okay.
and you'll look at it when the day rolls over at 7 p.m. Eastern, or you can just screenshot it if it's not a good time zone for you. You'll see what you're getting every single day in new Plazm, but it depends on how big of a share that you have. So it can't be. I can't just answer that. It's different for everybody. But
Right.
yeah, every day you get more and more Plazm, and that's another thing. Like a lot of people may see a negative ROI right now, but then the next day it goes positive because every single day you're getting more and more Plazm that will be released at the end of your creation. So that's
Right.
another thing. People ask, do I get access to my Plazm? And the answer is no. So you only get access at the end of the creation. So and again, the only caveat to that is if you stake, you are able to do an early claim as long as 50% of your maturity has gone through. So if you do a 70-day stake after day 35, you are able to claim your Plazm, but the penalty may be so big that you make 0. So just be aware of that. But if the token pumps, then even paying the fee to early unstake, which by the way burns more Plazm, there could be a situation that it would still be profitable for you. So
Right.
there's 100 different ways to, like you were saying earlier, Ryan, in the Telegram, everybody has these crazy strategies, and that's the fun of it, So, but if you are overwhelmed by all that, a tried and true rule is, just create the longest creation that you can to protect yourself.
Exactly. And look at this, guys. There's only 22 minutes between my two stakes here, and my ROI is like 1,200% less. So
Yeah,
so
for
that
sure.
just shows how many people went in. And we did this live, 8 days ago, guys. I did this deposit live. You want to see how I did it? Go back and watch that video. Links in the description right here on this video and in my old videos, guys. Okay, if you want to check it out, get some ETH on base or some ESHARE, and you can get in. And once again, very transparent. It shows you what I'm glad I asked that question. The create and earn. Speaking of question, there is one from Henry. What confuses me on the create is the launch cost changes on a daily basis. I would think it would be the dollar amount used to create and not change.
Yeah. So again, the creation is a ratio based on the price in the LP, and all this can be found in the white paper. But what is really cool, and this is almost like, in the words of Bob Ross, a happy accident. We didn't really realize this to begin with, but because Plazm and eShare are the main LP, so we're liquidity bonded through eShare and Plazm as the main LP of the platform, and then the eShare ETH LP or ESHARE BNB LP is a lot less. And because of this, when we see a dip in ESHARE, it makes it to where creations are always going to be more profitable, a lot longer than stakes. And so this is another really cool addition, because an issue that we're seeing right now in Taurus and Unity is that the staking fee is almost as much as the creation fee. And that's just an anomaly with the price going down. And it's 5% of what it would cost to create, but because of this LP imbalance, it gets really, really expensive, and that has a downstream effect of people not wanting to go in. But with us, it's going to be a lot different, because the LP moves in a way that it's going to always prefer creations until the price gets really low. Or like we said earlier, Ryan, if you already have Plazm, then it is a better deal, because you don't have to come up with all this new Ethereum or eShare to create. So to answer your question, Henry, it's the actual formula is in the white paper, but it's based on the ratio, not necessarily the dollar value.
Okay. Yeah. And go to Docs, Henry Jones 88. Hit this right here. Read through the white paper. It is all there for you to see. What else? We've got my portfolio. I showed you that. Check out the docs. You could buy your Plazm and bridge your eShare right there. Referrals, stats. I mean, this thing is killing the game, guys. I don't know what else to say. I mean, crazy ROIs, crazy P&Ls.
Totally. And if you go to burn too right there, Ryan, so this is the actual buy and burn. So we have a buy and burn, and we have a buy and build. The buy and burn, any eShare that's used to create or stake goes into a traditional setup where, again, we can't provide LP through bonds with eShare. So that eShare just sits there, and 1%, which is about $2 every 10 minutes from eShare, goes to buy and burn Plazm. And then if you go over to buy and build, at the top, there's another button there. So this is about $5 every 10 minutes that goes to buy and add liquidity. So buy and build is adding liquidity. Buy and burn is just burning, or buying and burning Plazm. And both of these things are really important, because number one, it locks away more and more Plazm and eShare, reducing the supply of both and deepening the liquidity. So when people do start to cash out, like you said, there's even if there is a run on the bank, that token doesn't go to zero. So the whole idea is that we have deep liquidity to mitigate that. And then if you go down at the bottom there for both, this is the bond. So again, we've done about $5,000 in 1 week, but we're not doing all of that right now, because not a lot of supply comes out until day 20. So once we're at day 20, then we can start ramping up the bond payouts. And again, we could put it to 100%, which no other buy and burn would ever go that high, because the treasury would go to zero. But because we're always replenishing, we could have, like I said, 700 a day, even at today's prices. If we get what is in Titan X right now, they have about 20 million in their buy and burn that has been turned off and just sitting there. That is literally about like 50 grand a day in buying pressure that we would have if we had it in our protocol. So, right now as a community, we just want to create as much as we can, and that will feed the bonds, and that will pump our bags in the future. So
Right. It's all about pumping our bags, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we need. That's what we're here for. We're not
100%.
here for 4, 5, 6% a year in your traditional finances. Maybe 10 if you're lucky. 12 to 15 if you're like a genius. That's what we're here for, is big gains. Sometimes with that, we take some losses, but we keep on going. We forge ahead, and that's what we do. So I think that's a pretty good overview of Plazm. If there's any questions, who does a heck of a job? Our good friend, and he's on this stream right now, Crypto Pride. He's got multiple videos out on it, even talking about the ladders. I mean, go to the Telegram group. Link is in the description of this video to get in. There's multiple YouTubers. Crypto Pride puts out some really good content. I've watched them, and they explain everything to detail. Much smarter than me, guys. I just ape into stuff and talk about it. That's as far as I go. Like, I don't get into like reading docs and I'm like, hey, that looks great. Let's throw something at it. That's the way I roll. Crypto Pride, a lot smarter than me. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining the thing tonight. Go watch his videos. He explains it in detail and different ladder strategies if that's what you want to do. All right, guys. So that is Plazm. We should talk about EarnFi real quick, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. What do we got here? We got a week, a little over a week to go. That's what, about 5 trading days, probably, I would think. How are we looking? How are we looking this month? I know it's been volatile, but how are we looking here?
Yeah, no doubt. So again, this is all about diversification. So, we specialize in crypto assets. Obviously, all of our crypto protocols and way to earn with crypto through LP. This is a whole separate thing. So this is something I've developed with some of our original devs from the EMP ecosystem. It has nothing to do with DexFi, and it's a real bot. A lot of protocols say they have this magic trading bot, but we actually have developed it, and I've said it on a few AMAs, but we're getting really, really close, man. We're hopefully going to be able to release this bot, and you can train the bot on your own data or import data from some of the best traders in the world. So we're going to have a lot more info on that, and hopefully within the next month. But we're getting really, really close, and it will be on crypto to begin with, because we're able to do things on chain a lot easier than a centralized, brokerage. But ultimately, it will be for crypto. I'm sorry, for stocks as well. So right now, EarnFi is a done for you platform that does the S&P 500 leverage trading. Again, not exposure to crypto, so that we can diversify. And same thing, it's variable returns. Nothing is guaranteed. It could all go to zero tomorrow, but we've had some great success. We've been averaging about 6% monthly. Some months have been up, some months have been down. And for this month, with the government shutdown, it's been really tough this week, and just low volume. Again, just like LP providing, we like to see a lot of volatility and a lot of volume. But it's only been going up, really, in the current stock market. So that being said, though, we are at about just under 2% for the month. And so if we have a good week, we can easily get to the 6%. It may be a little more, maybe a little less, and it may be zero. So who knows? But all of that's looking good so far. And yeah, I mean, every month or every cycle, you've gotten paid, right, Ryan?
Yeah. So you can see, guys, once again, I'm showing my bag. I got 50 stacks into this thing. It's right in front of you. So I've had 50 stacks in for a long time. The first month was March. I made 20. No, I made after the cut. So first of all, 6% is the goal, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's not a guarantee. The team does not get paid if it's not 6%. Anything above that, it's a 60-40 split in favor of the investors. March, I made 18.5% because we had a 24% month. April, I made 12%. May, I made 12. June, I made 6. July, I made 3. August, I made 6. And we'll see about how this cycle ends. It's a 26-day cycle, ladies and gentlemen, okay? When this timer hits 0, you have 4 days to deposit your USDC ETH into it. It's $100 minimum. You can't even go out and have dinner for that. Try it out. There's multiple wallets that have had $100 in just testing the waters, which is fine. Do that, whatever, or don't do anything at all. This is just an opportunity to put your ETH to work in the S&P 500 with an AI trading bot built by, AJ himself. And it's amazing. I got confidence in it. I put $50,000 in it. I've made, so I've only had the 50,000 in for 3 full months, and I've made $7,500 on that 50. Fee free, no tax, no nothing. I could take that 50 out any time I want. Okay. At the end of the cycle, you have 4 days. When that timer hits, you have 4 days to withdraw your rewards, or you can withdraw your rewards and exit the whole thing, or you do nothing and it will automatically compound. Anything you want. Your money's only locked for 26 days, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, $100 minimum, USDC on ETH. Once again, we talk about the Fridays. AJ usually gives an update. We're still trying to implement, the trades into the Telegram group, but it's being a kind of a pain in the ass because of the API, and it's still in beta, guys. Like, it's still early, so
sure.
The bot is still learning. So I mean, I'm just fortunate enough to be in it for like the last 6 months. I was in it 2 months before I even started talking about it. So
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Yeah, no doubt. That was a great overview. And yeah, we do use some leverage. Again, we did move to a new brokerage. I see Peter's here. Shout out to him. He's been asking some great questions. And AJ too. So yeah, the done for you version. Yeah, I mean, if people want a crypto version and not train the bot themselves, then we could definitely talk about doing that. So to answer AJ, and then yeah, Peter. So the bot is always learning, and that's what's really cool about AI, whether it's our AILM or this or any of the AI that we implement. Um, every single bit of data that it gets fed, it learns from. So in theory, over time, it gets more and more powerful and more smart and more profitable. And right before it takes over the world, right? So yeah, again, there is some, yeah, AI can be pretty scary sometimes at how it is able to learn. But yeah, we're always kind of refining things, and that's why some months are higher than others, as we always are training it on data and what is working and what isn't working. So ultimately, it will be more profitable over time. And yeah, one more thing you mentioned too, Ryan, about the transparency. Obviously, we do everything we can to be transparent, and this is probably the least transparent out of all of our systems. But that's only because we've been really handcuffed with the API. So we use a centralized brokerage, and they're not used to a bot, and so we have to figure out how to be able to show that. We do screenshots in the Telegram. That's been the easiest way. And the only reason we don't update the website every day is just that, honestly, I just don't have the time. So if you want the real time info, then join the Telegram. And then we're hopefully going to have an automated way of doing this with the actual UI that the brokerage uses. We're just trying to make sure that we don't get blacklisted or have any issues with that. So
exactly. Yes. So yeah, guys, we went over it all. We've hour and 20 minutes already. But that's why we're here. Questions. We like to talk about things, and I think it's very important. This is why we're here. This is why AJ in front of you answering all these questions. And people don't realize how important that is. Okay, to have a founder, a co-founder of a protocol, of multiple protocols where you could just talk to, and he's always in the chats. He's always in the Telegram group. He's a busy guy. So just realize that. We've got Bernard Bonds. We've got DexFi. We've got EarnFi. Honor versus Madness. We've got EMP. We've got everything, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and it's all transparent, and you get to talk to the man 2-3 times a week if you want. If you go to all of his AMAs. So, any questions on any of this stuff, guys? There's a Telegram group for everything. Okay, everything, or you could DM me. My email is in the description of this video. I will, if I don't know the answer, I will get it for you. Okay. So, I mean, it's all here for you to see. Everything is on DBank where you can track every single dollar, such as Bernard Bonds. I mean, I don't know how much more transparent you can get, guys. So, I mean, just realize that how you're in a special place right now, getting ready for the bull run. Well, it's here, in my opinion. And you have a chance to get into these amazing protocols with doxed founders and a guide that you could talk to 2 or 3 times a week. So with that said, guys, I don't know what else to say, but we're killing the game over here with these protocols. Nobody else is doing it. All right. There's a reason why a multi-billion-dollar company is looking at the tech for DexFi and, at the AILM stuff. All right. It's because they know it's the best. It's a matter of time before everybody's in this thing. And it doesn't matter if they're not, because all deposits could stop right now. And it doesn't matter. It's zero Ponzi-nomics. Okay, guys. You know what? With that said, AJ, if there's anything else you need to add.
Yeah, bro. No, I think that was a great overview. Again, I know we've been running a little bit later, but we just have so much info now. And like you said, we come to you every Tuesday. I also do our own AMAs on Thursday nights at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, a little bit earlier. And everything that we do is recorded. So I would highly, highly recommend, if any of you are new and this is maybe the first AMA, go back to Ryan's videos and look at the last 2 or 3. I think it would really help you understand. And even if, like I said earlier, even if you're an OG, it might be helpful to watch a replay of some of this, because I get it. It can be overwhelming, but we're always implementing the easiest way, and it says it right there, the easy button of yield farming. So again, everything we do is in that regard. And yeah, I think again we're just getting started. So feel free to reach out, and thank you, Ryan, for the DeFi date night, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Thank you, AJ, as well, taking your time out of your day to do this. And with that said, guys, it's all here. And ask any question you want. DM me, email me, whatever. I get calls during the day because people get my number. Whatever. I am here for you. I'm just bringing you the info. Thank you guys for joining. Almost like 40 people watching. I always usually get about 500 views afterwards. So we're growing, okay? And we're growing in the biggest thing in the space. All right, guys. With that said, I hope everybody has a great rest of their Tuesday evening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.